was fun. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a complete whiteout outside, but that's good for today's video because we're going to be talking about why is rear-wheel drive not as bad in the snow as people say it is. But first, let's get this car cleared off and go for a drive. Oh. It is 19 degrees out, everyone. That is chilly. All right, everyone, so now we're gonna start driving. And, having a little bit of fun there. What prompted today's video is I've been seeing a lot of people recently talking about how awful they say rear-wheel drive is in the snow. And frankly, that's just not true. Now, I'm not gonna say that rear-wheel drive is like the best in the snow, but what I'm simply going to say is rear-wheel drive, I would say, is no better or worse than other driveline options in the snow. With the exception of all/four-wheel drive, that will always be king. But rear versus front-wheel drive, I think that they are equally matched because I think each of them are better for different reasons. One of the reasons for that is I think people bash on rear-wheel drive because rear-wheel drive has a tendency to slip out more because obviously you don't have as much weight over the rear wheels. But my counter argument to that would be when you do slip out, it is a lot easier to control. So front-wheel drive, when you start sliding out, you understeer like every time, and there's not really a lot you can do about it. Now, yes, it is usually more involved before you get to that point, but I think that rear-wheel drive is honestly better than front-wheel drive. Now, my reference for front-wheel drive in the snow is a 2000, what was it, EP3 Civic Si. So that car was really bad in the snow, as you might guess. It was on like let's say 195 tires, maybe 205s, but very skinny. So yes, obviously me going to now a rear-wheel drive car with 245s, yeah, it's gonna handle a little bit better, simply for the fact that I have more rubber on the road. But there are ways to control your car in rear-wheel drive. One of such things is drive slower. You drive slower than when you need to make any kind of emergency stop. You don't have to worry as much because you're not going as fast. Really, most of the accidents that happen in the snow are because people were going too fast. They overestimated how much grip they had, and they, spun out, hit a car, didn't brake enough time, whatever the reason may be. But frankly, as long as you keep in mind that you are on ice, literally, there's not a lot for you to worry about. It's like you're noticing when I'm taking off from stoplights, I'm giving it a lot of lead-up time, shifting slowly, accelerating slowly. Every movement I'm making is slow and controlled. And because I'm doing that, if something were to happen up ahead, I don't have to worry as much because I'm going slower. I'm leaving a big following distance, which is also something you should be doing, and I don't have to be concerned. Because frankly, I think people, and that's another thing too, snow tires are by far the best thing you can do to a rear-wheel drive car, or any car, frankly, to gain better traction. I would argue that rear-wheel drive with snow tires is better than all-wheel drive on summer tires, because it doesn't matter that you have all-wheel drive. If your summer tires can't grip, they're all just spinning constantly. You just have four wheels spinning instead of two. So you're not doing yourself any justice, right? But rear-wheel drive, if you have a proper tire compound, the snow tires are physically softer and they don't cake off as much snow, so it allows you to grip more as you're trying to take off, right? So I would definitely say snow tires make the biggest difference as opposed to your driveline choice. But in the case of rear-wheel drive, if you have snow tires, right, obviously you don't have as much weight on the rear as you do on the front, like in front-wheel drive. But with snow tires, it allows you to compensate for that. And obviously, front-wheel drive with snow tires might be better in a lot of cases, but rear-wheel drive is definitely drivable in the snow. It's not unsafe. I would not say that you're a danger to society. You just have to be more mindful about what your car is doing. This car, as an example, has an LSD, which definitely helps a lot, right? Obviously, I turned traction control off because the traction control in this car is really bad. I mean, you try to take off anywhere, it's just gonna cut your power. Something else I can do too is turn my turn signal on early. I have to get over, turn it on early, so other drivers know, hey, he's getting over, they have time to react, right? Everything, the whole, I guess, spiel about driving in the snow, rear-wheel drive or not, but especially with rear-wheel drive, just do everything slowly and with a lot of time. You do that, you'll never have to be worried about anything because you've given yourself proper lead-up time, so if anything were to happen, because it will, you don't have to worry about it. Oh, this guy behind me is honking at me for not going, which I should be going because they have a green arrow. So kind of my bad, but taking things too fast in the snow is how you end up in accidents, because that's, you think you have grip, you don't, and then you spin out because you didn't grip up in enough time before you started going. This is more of an issue when the car is cold, but something you definitely need to consider is your car is going to handle a lot worse when you've just started it in the morning. Because, oh, I'm sliding right now. But in the morning, when you first turn your car on, your car is going to handle a lot worse for a couple of reasons. One, your engine management is going to be doing more as far as your power band goes, and it's not going to want to give you as much power. And B, your tires are also really cold. Now, your tires aren't really going to warm up in this kind of weather, but they might warm up just enough to get a little more traction. When I started taking off, I had literally no traction at all, but now I have some. Now I'm currently sliding, but I know what's happening. I'm being mindful of my surroundings. All my throttle inputs are slow and controlled, so it's not an issue. I think I said earlier, sorry, I totally went off on a rant there, but LSD. And LSD can help a lot because it allows your wheels to turn at different rates, right? But something you have to be careful of if you have a limited slip differential, you get too confident, and then you'll, as soon as you let off the gas, it's 20, this LSD specifically is 25%, it's 25% lock LSD, right, on acceleration, but not on deceleration. So as soon as you let off the gas, you're gonna lose all your traction because they don't spin at different speeds. That's something else to, you know, keep in mind. Really be mindful of your surroundings, go slow, and you won't have any problems. And you can even have some fun. As you saw at the start of the video, get in a controlled environment, not a lot of things to hit, you can have fun. It is fun. You should try it. If you have a rear-wheel drive car and you're not afraid to get snow on it, you know, go have fun, go practice. But just be mindful of your surroundings, and if there are people around you, as such as there is now, be very careful, like I'm doing. Now, I'm not gonna go ahead and say that, you know, rear-wheel drive is, you know, the best. Oh, it's so good. Look at, you know, like I can go over the speed limit in the snow, because I mean, look, I'm at a 50 going 25, right? Like, I'm going half the speed limit right now. And, you know, I'm getting past, because these cars, obviously, they're bigger, they're heavier, they have more grip. But it's, everyone, you know, everyone knows I'm going slower because I don't have as much grip, and they're also going less than the speed limit, so the difference isn't that big of a deal. Get over. I just saw I changed lanes there because that's all snow and this is not. As you can see, as I was getting over, there was just a pile of snow that my wheels were just trying to grab onto. But I was aware that it was there, and I compensated for it and went slow. I probably lost speed even while I was changing lanes, but you know, it was fine. I looked before I went. You know, no harm, no foul. I'll even enter fifth, getting a little ballsy here. Entering fifth gear. But yeah, this is kind of a shorter video. I just wanted to talk about rear-wheel drive because I think that, you know, it gets a lot of attention and notoriety for being bad, and I think it's unfair. I think the people that say rear-wheel drive is bad in the snow have maybe drove a rear-wheel drive car and gotten some kind of accident because they weren't paying attention, and then they're just blaming the car. Or it's people who haven't actually driven it in the snow and they're just assuming that's what everyone else says. But frankly, I think that as long as you're careful, you know what you're doing. I mean, I hardly have any experience and I'm doing fine. You just have to feel it out, right? Like it's not a big issue. So with that said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Wasn't any kind of crazy video, but I just wanted to kind of talk about rear-wheel drive because I think that it's a topic that, you know, gets a bad rap for, in my opinion, not really any good reason. Because frankly, you know, it's not that bad. Oh, and I did go for a POV this time because my suction cup mount didn't want to stick there. So that's why we had a different camera angle today. If you like the camera angle, let me know in the comments below. I'm not opposed to doing more like this. Yeah, I think it's all right. But make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and have a good weekend, everyone. And hopefully these days are numbered. We can get back to summer performance driving. Guess I made a wrong turn. They didn't really give me a lot of space to do anything here. Oh, yeah, this is one thing that kind of sucks about rear-wheel drive in snow. Not a lot of grip at low speeds, that's for sure. See, just control your car and it's fine.